And it was created back in 1930 by a gentleman, Mr. William K. Kellogg, and his concern for the welfare of the kids of America. Now, this is 70 years later, and they're still servicing the youth of America with over $6 billion in assets. So to say the very least, this is a large foundation, and actually the sixth largest foundation in the United States of America. So what is it that I'm saying? What is it that we have been trying to explain to the Kellogg Foundation? That even though you are giving massive amounts of monies to service the problems of the poor, you've omitted one very important element in your giving. And that element is the need to understand that a prevention component must be applied. You see, back in the 1930s, the country was going through a depression, recession, depression, and the need to keep the kids off the soup lines and healthy and out of the, what they call them, the tent kitchens or the tent cities. This was very prevalent back in those days. And Mr. Kellogg saw this, and he saw the need to enhance the education of our kids and the need to keep them focused in terms of their youth and their health and development. But you see, that was 30 years ago. Today, you gotta be poor to receive an apartment. You gotta be poor to receive transportation, an automobile. You have to be poor in order to receive full medical benefits. See, this is given to the poor. But back 70 years ago, this wasn't the same type of giving. This is two different types of giving. So if we maintain this format of giving, you see, we can't win. Poverty today is not the same thing as poverty in yesteryears. So even though the Kellogg Foundation has a very dedicated efforts to help the poor and help the youth, that if you continue along this lines of giving and not understanding the needs for a prevention element, then you are keeping the poor poor, because you don't understand the impact of your giving and how you have structured this giving. But there's a much deeper implication here. And the fact is, as we pointed out, that you are 70 years old. You're providing leadership for the past 70 years for the government, the corporations, anybody else. This is the way we do it. You have a research capacity. You research these various entities in order to make sure that you're funding them the right situations. Now, there's a lack of depth. The depth in understanding, as we have said, that poverty today is not the same thing as poverty in yesteryear, 1930. So to say that we're going to maintain the legacy of William K. Kellogg, the integrity of giving, no, ladies and gentlemen, no. Giving today is not the same as giving yesterday. And giving without a prevention component, when we have the means to prevent the problem, 6 years we've been with the Kellogg family. You see? So it's not as if you don't understand, which is our efforts to try to reach you to explain this to you. You understand this. You must begin to put this in perspective in terms of your position in the community. You represent leadership. And unless you do this, you put the public in a position where you make an announcement that you give $1 million to an org, you make another announcement where you give another $1 million. Fine. Fine. Give whoever you want to give to. But if you omit the prevention elements, the prevention component, we're going to lose. And the prevention component, you have eminently aware of it. You're eminently aware that, number one, that any program that you give to service the poor, there is today, not yesteryear, but there is today an organization out there trying to prevent the very same problem. The prevention component says that we must collaborate the prevention programs with the service program. And in so doing, we create a holistic service for the public, for the community that we serve. And then finally, in doing that, the evaluation structure is set up such that the prevention program, the service program, and you are given options at the end of the funding period. That means, what did we do to prevent the problem? What did we do to service the problem? And then finally, what did we do for that funder, the Kellogg Foundation, the government, the taxpayers, the philanthropists? What did we do for the community at large in preventing the problem and providing for service for the next time that we come? We have a situation, we said, well, we've done something to prevent the problem. And what? And that's when we can stand up tall and say, here's what we've done for Bill Kellogg and what he's looking for. Because we understand the depth of our giving. And it's not just to give and sit back. We sit back and not pat ourselves on the back and say, we gave $1 million here, we gave $1 million there. No. No. Once we do that, once we put the public's interest in that perspective, then we got something. And I encourage you, if you are sitting on the board of directors of the Kellogg Foundation, if you know someone, then share this video. We are available. My name is Creighton Rippey, and we are available for speaking engagements. I'm the director of the Greater Detroit Community Outreach Center here in Detroit, Michigan. We've been around for 43 years. This is our 43rd year. 6 years funded by the Kellogg Foundation. We also want to let you know that you can call us directly, 313-891-7030. Again, thank you.